Did you ever wonder what it will be like to turn your concept sketches into a reality just as they are on paper? Now we can do that with a few clicks using AI. I will share how I reimagined famous buildings of architects like Zaha Hadid and Franky based on their initial sketches using AI. I wanted to experiment with how the buildings would look like if they followed the original napkin sketch exactly. I have used Stable Diffusion to create these images, and I will share what settings and prompts I used so you can try them yourself too. I'm using local Stable Diffusion with Automatic 1111 UI together with ControlNet extension. If you don't have it installed, you can find all the resources and installation tutorials in the video description. For the first one, I will regenerate another sketch from Zaha Hadid for the same building. I will upload it to ControlNet tab. Since it is already a sketch, I will directly use the ControlNet scribble model without any preprocessor. You may test it out with other preprocessors too, like line art or invert to change it to white lines on a black background. Depending on your drawing, the best settings to use for ControlNet can be different. After that, I will try to describe it in my prompt. I have used a pretty simple prompt for this one, like raw photo of a building designed by Zaha Hadid, organic shape building design supported by curved columns, glossy white facade with glass panels, sunset, pink sky reflections on the ground, and I added some enhancer keywords for this model I am using, which is the Realistic Vision version 2.0. It is my favorite model at the moment. Of course, when you are watching this, we may have better alternatives to use. If so, I will update it in the resources. And here are the first results. There is a resemblance with the drawing, but it is not so good. For the second generation, I decided to try it out with the invert mode. I think the results are much better than the previous one. For the first generation, I have used image size 512 to 512, and once I started to like the results I'm getting and the overall settings, I changed it to 1024 to 1024. This can help you to speed up the process. And then I adjusted the prompt slightly and tried to change the time of the day and overall mood for the image. I wanted to put a large public square in front of the building, but it kept generating it as a water and a building in waterfront. And here are some of the final images from this drawing. Of course, you can use the same workflow for your own drawings to generate different alternatives to speed up the creative process. Then I tested out with Louis Kahn's sketch for his City Tower project, which was never built. I was curious to see how it would look if it were constructed exactly as he originally sketched it, but on a smaller scale. For the first generation, I didn't use any preprocessor mode, but as you can see, the results are totally different. Since it's a different kind of sketch with many shaded parts, I wanted to try different modes. I have tested all of them, and these are the best possible ones you can try for this kind of drawings. The Kenny mode determines the outlines in the image, but it does it in a very detailed way, so it is not the best option for this case. Even though this is not the correct use of the depth map from a sketch, the results were pretty good, especially the outcome from depth zoe and depth midas can lead to a good results. And here you can see the results with SED, Soft Edge Detection mode. It does a pretty good job of outlining the borders of the figure with some of the details inside, but I feel like the results of these parts won't be so realistic in this option. And lastly, I tested out with the line art mode. This model is one of the new ones that came with the last ControlNet update, and I think for regular sketches it is working much better compared to Scribble option. Then I tested all the different modes and models, and here are the results for all of them. In total, I tried to generate 8 different projects from 6 different architects. If we check the first one, we have the Science Center from Germany. You can see the initial sketch, the final build version, and the remakes based on the sketch using AI. I think the final results for this turn out great. In the first generation, it created the building next to a water with these beautiful reflections on the water surface, and in the other ones, I changed it to some kind of public square to make it closer to the original design. And here is one with the other sketch for the same project. This turned out with a very different form compared to first one, even though they are the same building, especially with these parts on top. I really like this evening view with the reflections on the lights on the ground. In the next one, we have Louis Count's City Tower, and you can see the physical model of the project on the left side. Since it was a way more complex sketch to understand compared to previous ones, there are some problematic parts in these images, but the overall mood and the quality are better than I expected. I really like these parts in this image. I imagine these areas as the greenhouses on the upper levels of this vertical city idea, and I really like the lighting, sky color, and the reflections on this window in this image. I will quickly show the other ones to not make this video any longer. You can stop the video to check them, or I have posted all of them on my Instagram account. You can find all of them there too. All the links for the resources are in the video description. I only want to show my favorite one too, which is Franky's Beekman Tower in New York. I love this wavy form similar to the sketch and the shape of the windows, and also with this larger bottom part. In all of the other ones, it only managed to create the main building without any additional buildings or context around the building. But in this one, the buildings at the background look super cool, and they create a nice contrast compared to our building with their darker tones and different materials. Please let me know in the comments which one was your favorite one, and I am also curious to hear what you think about this workflow. Would you use a similar workflow for your own projects too, starting from a sketch and then creating different versions of it using AI to create inspirational materials? Thanks for watching till this moment. I hope you liked it. If you did, maybe you can enjoy this video too. See you in the next one.